to the NFC, and we'll start off out west. We spent a good time earlier talking about the Seahawks. Jersey Joe just walked in with his Russell Wilson jersey. Big win for them last night, beating the Packers 36-16. It's Ian and Jack talking sports, and let's start off out west. So we covered the Seahawks. They're going to be great this year. Elite. Nobody's winning at CenturyLink except if you're the Seahawks. But now let's talk about the 49ers. Been to the last 3 NFC title games. I see them going right back.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for the NFC. There's 2 playoff teams right there. There's only going to be one open wild card spot between the 3 other divisions. It's either going to be I think it'll be Seahawks winning the division. 49ers will grab the wild card right behind them. But yeah, like you said, maybe going back to the conference title game. Maybe Colin Kaepernick can make a better throw this year and get it past Sherman, so he doesn't have to listen to him again. Sure, that's definitely what he wants.
Or just take a page from the Packers book and not throw at Sherman.
Yeah, that's always an option, but then you got to work with the rest of that defense,
Hey, the Legion of Boom is alive and well, and I think it's pretty standard with the 49ers. Yeah, they have Aldon Smith out 9 games, I think, but they're just so good. Jim Harbaugh wins no matter where he is, and he's got the 49ers exactly where he wants them, and it's hard to pick against the 49ers with Harbaugh as their coach.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I think the one thing you can say about the 49ers is maybe it seems like their defense might be on the out. That line between Aldon Smith just can't stay on the field. He keeps getting suspended. Justin Smith's getting old. I think he's on his way out. I think their secondary is very good. Not Legion of Boom good, but they're good. They hold their own, and I just think that's something to watch this year. Maybe see if that defense is going to fold or if they can make some plays.
Yeah, they're on their way out, but I just think that they're just too good that they can't fall out of the playoffs. And really, looking at the rest of the division, the Rams, whatever they were thinking, we're going to be coming up this year, and then Sam Bradford goes down. Any chances they had of improving off of last year and maybe making a push for the playoffs went down the drain there. I don't see them doing anything. I think if they win 6 games this year, they'd be lucky.
I think they should be happy with 6 games. That's shooting for the stars, I think, with that Sam Bradford. And who knows what the future holds for him and the Rams. Who knows if they're going to part ways at the end of his contract, and who knows if he'll be the same when he comes back from the ACL. I mean, I think recently the way it works, usually people come back fine. It doesn't. Maybe, I know a couple people out there heard it again, but no one comes back and can't perform like they used to. Usually maybe a little slower for running backs and receivers, but quarterbacks, I think he'll be fine.
That's the thing with Bradford. He'll come back fine, but he's just so injury prone. After he won the Heisman, it just seems like injury, then he'll play. Injury, then he'll play. Injury, then he'll play. I mean, I wonder if the Rams knew how injury prone he would be. I wonder if they would have taken him with that top pick. He just doesn't. He doesn't seem to be able to stay on the field at all, and that really hurts him and the Rams. I think they might part ways. Now they did draft him as their franchise quarterback and everything, but he just, I'm not sold on Bradford.
Right, and the Rams might not have a say in it. He could just get up and go at the end of his contract. He doesn't have to re-sign with them. He already got his money. He doesn't care if he was their first pick. If if he wants to win, and he knows he can't win there, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else and help someone else win. That's how it goes in the NFL.
The thing is, though, I don't know what team that's in a winning situation is going to look at Bradford and say, hey, we want you. I think they're going to look at it and say, this guy's missed most of his career. He's been injured. That's not going to help them win to get into the playoffs or win in the playoffs or win a Super Bowl or anything. So I think Bradford's really kind of limited in his options, and it's unfortunate for him, but that's the way his career has gone. That injury, and now he's gonna be facing a contract or free agency, and there are a lot of questions surrounding his health.
Right. That's. I mean, like you said, that's the way it works. He might not have a choice. Like you said, he might not have anywhere else to go. He might just have to stay in St. Louis and work to the best of his abilities and try and make them a winning team in that tough division.
And now looking at the fourth team in that division, we've got the Arizona Cardinals, who surprisingly, under first-year head coach Bruce Arians, went 10-6 last year. That came out of nowhere for me. I think they went 5-11 the year before. I mean, really great job by Bruce Arians, but I think that was a one-hit wonder.
I agree, and now they got Carson Palmer running the show over there instead of Kevin Kolb, who got them to 10 wins last season. But yeah, that might have been a one-hit wonder, like you said. I think Carson Palmer, he hasn't played well since his Bengals days, and I just don't see, again, in that division, I can't see them winning. I see them beating the Rams. I don't see them taking on the Seahawks or the 49ers. They can't.
I was going to say, if they had 10 games against the Rams, then they'll have another 10-win season maybe.
Yep.
But they're not going to repeat that. And really, it's kind of unfortunate for them that they put together a 10-win season and don't get into the playoffs.
Yeah, that hurts. I mean, for the fan base too. That's just tough to watch. To enjoy watching your team all season and coming out every week and winning 10 games and then there's no playoffs for you. That's not fun. And then there's teams like, when you look at the AFC West, you got the Chargers squeaking in, like you said, 9-7 with. They need two teams to win on the last game of the season, and they need to win, and then they squeeze in at 9-7. That hurts.
Well, been there at an 11-5 year and missing the playoffs, so I can definitely feel the Cardinals' pain, the Cardinals fans' pain, but I think that the pain of going 10-6 and missing the playoffs is going to be something that they would prefer compared to what they're going to experience this year. I see the Cardinals taking a step back, and I see them going 7-9 this year.
Yeah, I think same with the Rams. Same with the Cardinals. Seven wins is, again, I think that's their quota there. They won't get higher than that. I can't see them going 8-8. Rams 6 wins, Cardinals 7 wins if they're lucky. Maybe even 6 for them too.
That's where I agree. I see the Rams going more in the 6 wins is like lucky for them.
Right.
I think the Cardinals are going to be decent. They just have such a tough schedule. I mean, we mentioned it earlier. AFC West plays NFC West. So they've got not only 2 games against the Seahawks, 2 games against the 49ers, but then they have the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Chargers, which, right there, that could be seven losses right there. And it's not even that surprising if they lose all those games.
Right.
So, that's a good point. I was thinking 7-9 would be pretty accurate for them, but then that would mean that they're going 7-2 in their other 9 games.
Right, and even you think about they got to play the Rams twice. Those aren't. I mean, even without Sam Bradford, I don't think those are 2 gimmicks. Those aren't easy wins. And AFC West, Raiders are always a team that can just steal one from you in a week where that could be a trap game.
The thing with the Rams, I don't think that. Granted, Sam Bradford's a very gifted quarterback, but I don't think he's that much of a difference maker. And he might factor into 2 wins, but it's not like you put Sam Bradford on the Rams and all of a sudden they're a Super Bowl favorite. I'd say Bradford's on the Rams. They're looking at about 8-8 now. Without him, they're looking at maybe 5-11, 6-10. So it's really not that much of a difference. It's pretty consistent. The Rams' defense is good. I will certainly give them that.
Yeah.
But
definitely maybe best defensive line in the league. That's why Michael Sam's gotten cut from there because, I mean, not like he didn't play well. I mean, he played very well the preseason, but they just have maybe arguably the best defensive line in the league, and there's no room for him.
That's the tough thing about it. You could get drafted to a team that isn't good, and you think, oh, good, I'll have an opportunity to play, but you just happen to play the position where they have the elite of the elite. So it's unfortunate for Michael Sam, but he has made his way over to Dallas and is on the Cowboys practice squad. And we'll see how his journey of an NFL career is going to take off this year. But really, I mean, if you think about it, he should be at least considered by a lot of teams because he was the co-defensive player in the year in the SEC.
Right, best football conference in college football there.
Exactly. Probably a lot of people are saying they should move the top teams from the SEC up to the NFL and move the bottom teams from the NFL down to college, which really, that gives you an idea. He was playing close to college level and dominating there last year.
He's talented. I think he's deserving of a roster spot, and I think he'll get it in Dallas. It's just the way, like it is with him. Michael Sam is a media circus, not his own fault. That's just the way the media works, and that's how Jerry Jones works. Jerry Jones wants to draw attention to his team, and that's one way to definitely draw a lot of attention to your team. And I think that will factor into him getting a roster spot.
Certainly, Jerry Jones likes to make himself known.
Yes.
And that's the thing. That's a reason why a lot of people do not like the Cowboys. But we'll get on to the Cowboys when we get over to the East. But let's move out of the West because we've covered all 4 teams there in depth. Let's move up to the South. We had last year 2 teams from there getting into the playoffs, the Panthers and the Saints. I think the Saints repeat season from last year. You got Jimmy Graham's getting paid now,
yep.
And you're always elite with Drew Brees. I see them easily 11-5 again.
Yep. Hopefully Jimmy Graham stays healthy and he'll stop his dunking on the goalpost. We don't want him getting suspended for that because as fun as it is to watch him dunk the ball through the goalpost, we don't need him getting suspended for that. And it's definitely fun to watch Drew Brees all the time.
Absolutely. If there's a Saints game on and they're on offense, you're in for something special. Brees is just one of those players that he's on the field you want to watch. But now jumping over to the Panthers, winning the division last year, 12-4, I think, really had a great season. I just don't see them doing that again. I think they're going to be an every other year team. That Cam had a great first year, sophomore slump. Come back, had a great third year. I see fourth year slump for them. I'm thinking around 500 maybe even dipping under. I'm just not sold on this Panther team.
No, I mean, I think big addition for Cam Newton. They got Kelvin Benjamin in the draft, one of Jameis Winston's favorite targets out of Florida State. And Cam had that injury scare preseason against the Patriots, I think it was. He got that knee to the ribs. That was a little scary. He's got to revamp his game a little bit. I think he's got to try and become more of a pocket passer and scramble when he needs to, but not scramble so much because he's got to watch out because he could end up like RG3 has been the past couple of years with the injuries.
And I feel like I think they got rid of a lot of their receiving core, which makes Greg Olsen so much more important to that offense. That's why I picked him up in a lot of my fantasy drafts because I was saying, you know what, who else is Cam going to throw to? And so it's unfortunate when your tight end is so instrumental in your offense. I mean, Greg Olsen gets hurt. That's going to be a big blow to them. A top level tight end getting injured, we definitely know what that's like in New England. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be key to stay healthy for this Panthers team.
Here, listen to this stat here. They have their receiving core is made up of Jason Avant, Jericho Cotchery. Those are big names. Kelvin Benjamin's a name everyone knows. Kelvin Benjamin, obviously rookie. This is his rookie year. They have Philly Brown, rookie. DeAndre Presley into his second year, and Brenton Burson in his second year. So they have 4 different receivers with less than 2 years of experience on that roster. So they got to definitely look up to Jason Avant and Jericho Cotchery, who Jason Avant and Jericho Cotchery are definitely good receivers to look up to. I know when Jericho Cotchery was on the Jets, he was a big name there. He did good there, and same with Jason Avant. He was good with Philly.
Yeah, Cotchery definitely did well with the Jets. I just don't see that much out of that receiving core for the Panthers, and really I see Greg Olsen having a big year because I see Cam going to him a lot this year, and he's going to be very pivotal to the success of the Panthers.
I think Panthers are definitely hit or miss. It's either, like you said, dipping below 500, or maybe even they'll repeat this year. Maybe not 12 wins, 10 wins maybe between. They have that running attack with Jonathan Stewart, DeAngelo Williams. That's always a factor, and I think it lies on Cam Newton really. Obviously the defense has to play well, but forget about them. I think it's just all Cam Newton. If he wants to take his team to the playoffs again, he can do it. He just has to work for it and make it happen.
I'm just not going in for the Panthers, but a team that I am going in for from the South is the Tampa Bay Bucks. They are gonna have a rebound year. I am so happy about this. One of my favorite teams, probably second to the Patriots, and really, the Bucks, I see them jumping up to at least 500 this year. I see a big momentum push. Lovie Smith, great coach. Unfortunate the way it ended for him in Chicago, but now coming to Tampa Bay, I am so excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, they could definitely make some noise over there. They just got Mike Evans in the draft, Johnny Football's favorite target. I think he can make an immediate impact over there with behind Vincent Jackson. Lewis Murphy's over there too, and the running game will be strong. It always is. Doug Martin's there. He'll make some noise over there. But other than that, I think you're right. I think they could make a splash over there if everyone stays healthy and all that good stuff.
And now the fourth team in that division going hit or miss. I think this team is the epitome of hit and miss. You got the Atlanta Falcons. This team, I don't know what to make of them. I could see them really struggling this year. I could see them putting together a nice season. I think they're one of the biggest wild card teams in the NFL that you really don't know what you're going to get out of them.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the Falcons. I think they're just like the Chargers for me. It's just I'm never sold on them. I feel like they can never put together a full season, and even when they do, they make it to the playoffs and they can't finish there either. It's just how it goes for them. But hey, maybe this year is different. Who knows?
Well, I think it's pretty clear it's going to be a race for second. The Saints have this division, but now we got 2 more divisions left to talk about, and these are probably the 2 divisions that are always the closest and the most up for grabs the last few weeks of the season. We're talking the NFC North and the NFC East. Up north, last year it was a wild finish. I mean, you had Aaron Rodgers out for a good chunk of the season. The Bears were down with their quarterback, and the Lions were leading the division, and it looked like it was theirs to lose. And then, you know what they did? They let it go.
They lost it.
They let it go.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they do every year, except their 1 year 10-6. But every year, it looks like on paper they have such a great elite team, but they just plummet and just find a way to lose.
Yep, they can't pull it together either. There's one of those teams. That's just how it goes.
And so I do not see them going anywhere. I see it being just like last year, a lot of optimism, and then down the tubes for the rest of the year. I see this coming back to being Bears and Packers. And the Packers, last night didn't go well, but you're playing the defending Super Bowl champions on their home turf where they're phenomenal. Right. I see that not as a factor at all, and the Packers taking this division.
Yeah, I think that last night's a little bump in the road for the Packers. I have them definitely taking the division too, and I don't think it's going to be anything like last year. I don't know if any of these teams can keep up with the Packers this year. Maybe the Bears can, but to me, the Lions and Vikings are just irrelevant in that division. They have been for a while now, and nothing's going to change this year for them. Not yet, at least.
And now jumping up to the East, this division, every year, all four teams are right around 500, competing for it. It seems like the last 3 years, the Cowboys have lost on the final night of the season to the division champion. I mean, it's a broken record with them.
Yep, same old story.
And it's really just which team is going to step up and play the Cowboys for the division title. And I think it's a crapshoot here. I don't see the Redskins doing that well. I think they just have too many issues between
the name. They have too much negative attention over there, just everything. Between
the name and RG3, I suspect him to rebound nicely, but he's not going to be as phenomenal as he was as a rookie. And so I really don't see them competing that much. The Giants aren't going to be as awful as last year, but I don't see them. I think it really comes down to Cowboys and Eagles.
I'm going to take the Eagles. I think they'll be a very good team this year. Nick Foles done a good job over there, and with Chip Kelly's offense, they added Darren Sproles. He's going to be a big impact player over there.
Yeah, that Philly offense, I mean, they pile up points in a hurry.
Yeah, but between Shady and Darren Sproles, that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Them both coming out of the backfield and throwing Sproles in the slot too.
We certainly absolutely have an exciting, excellent NFL season ahead of us. I mean, I just can't wait. It's already started, and I'm in my glory with the NFL. Do you want to do the little picks or
let's we got Sunday night 8:30 NBC. We got Colts at the Broncos. That should be fun. Peyton Manning going up against his old team is always fun. So who do you got for that one?
I got the Broncos. It's in Denver with the altitude. That's a great home field advantage for them. And I expect a nice season out of the Colts this year, certainly. But I just think, and especially after last year, the Colts were the first team to beat the Broncos. Broncos are going to remember that, and you got to go Peyton Manning here.
I absolutely agree. I think it might be a blowout too. Like you said, with the home field advantage, the altitude's always a factor, and being that it's the first home game back, the last game they saw was at Super Bowl. The fans, I'm sure they want to see a different showing this time around. But I'm going to take the Broncos. Colts, like you said, think both teams will have a very good year, but got to go with the Broncos for this one.
They might very well meet up in the playoffs. I would not be at all surprised if these teams see each other like divisional round weekend in the playoffs. But yeah, I'm going Broncos. Now we'll look at the doubleheader on Monday night. First week of the season, 2 Monday night games. Is it Monday yet?
No.
But the first game there, we've got the Lions hosting the Giants. I'm going with the Lions.
This is definitely a tough game to pick. I think I'm going to have to go with the Lions too, being that they're home, and I just don't have faith in the Giants this year. I mean, Eli Manning's going to have to show me something this year, coming off last season. He's going to have to turn this team around if he wants to make some noise in that division, but I'm going to go with the Lions too.
Giants started 0-6 last year. I don't think they're going to have that bad of a start this year, but I see them starting off 0-1. I really do. And I think the Lions are going to have pretty similar to last year. They're going to show you that they can compete and then just let it all go down the drains at the end of the year. So I just looking at that, I'm definitely going Lions. And then the final game of the week, closing out week 1 in the NFL, is the Cardinals and the Chargers. That game is...
It's in Arizona.
In Arizona, in the desert, but I'm still going San Diego.
Since I'm not sold on the Chargers this year, and I think that the way they go with their hit-or-miss season, I think they'll have their big part of the season in the end, like they always do. So I'm going to go Cardinals, and think Andy Reid's going to start off his second season over there with a W.
Bruce Arians.
Sorry about that, Bruce Arians. Got the color schemes there.
Yeah. You know, this has been a great first show. Loving it, NFL. And we will be right back next week at noon, high noon, to talk some sports with Ian and Jack. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Broadcasting from the basement of La Penta, it's WICR. WICR presents another great New York sports moment.
And it looks like it's going to be Mo